assets at a what do you do with the Bitcoin besides it just gather value?
Real estate developers in New York City, they're not buying the real estate because they want to live in it.
But like most of the people who are buying assets at some point want to sell the assets at a profit.
People that use fiat currency as a store of value, we call them poor. We call them poor. People that use fiat currency, we call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. There's a name for them. We call them poor. We call them poor. Okay? Right, like, the point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever, Laura. Forever.
Right, I mean, right, but I mean, we can all look Bitcoin sort of as...
Forever, Laura. People that use fiat currency as a store of value, we call them poor. We call them poor. People that use fiat currency, we call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. There's a name for them. We call them poor. 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 Okay?
With time, a seed becomes a tree, sheltering us. With time, a skill becomes a talent, empowering us. With time, a technology becomes a tool, enhancing us. By nature, time gives value to almost everything, yet the very thing our society gives value to, our money, loses value over time. This paradox warps our reality by defying the laws of nature, and it stems from the belief that $1 today is worth more than $1 tomorrow. Meaning money must always lose value. We built our reality off of this model. Time value of money, we call it, but in reality, this is just dogma. Since we can keep making more of it, we end up destroying our own purchasing power. So we put it in stocks, put it in bonds, put it in land, put it in funds, put it in crypto, put it in gold. But we are not oracles, so what do we know? We know that it's hard to get by. We know some people may never retire. Is time value of money a license to discount the monetary value of our time? If time is money, how are we moving in different directions? We're working longer for less, we end up just giving away our freedom. Give up liberty for policies, give up our agency to the authorities. Because when our foundation is built on complexity, we simplify humans by giving up our humanity. Reality check, we've strayed too far from the truth. The world economy's a wreck when 1 + 1 no longer equals to 2. And if life's created from the truth, along the way something got screwed, and we let our own dogma subjectify value. We divorce action from consequence. We defy the law of physics when we make scarcity infinite. We disregard the language of mathematics. So our systems are built in a fallacy. Our society's based in a fantasy. In the absence of truth, we're living in the shadows of our own reality. And that's the root problem. Man-made rules can be broken. As our trust crumbles, so does the progress of our civilization. But one thing remains constant: no one can cheat nature. So why not use it to architect a stronger base layer? The most beautiful buildings engineered based on these consequences. Natural law drives rigor needed to build something enduring, uncompromising on principles that accounts for the flawed, because when our lives are at stake, the gravity of truth cannot be ignored. So if our monetary systems were designed like structures, it would embody energy and matter so the money itself matters. An unbreakable limit enforced by costliness of creation ensures the structure holds value for many generations. A rule-based system governed by math builds a transparent ecosystem that can self-error correct. With no one in charge, no words are taken as fact. Only work from computation can actualize truth of timestamps, and like water flowing off a cliff down the path of gravity, computational energy makes time flow one way only. It is this irreversibility which gives value to our money by upholding consensus and scarcity to create one shared reality. Now the map is the territory. Now we're working with high fidelity. Now money is truthfully time and energy bound by finality. Now we have the ability to manifest each of our dreams and build a world that is much more reflective of all of our needs. And that's the purpose of money, merely a tool to shape our reality, merely a function to harness and express individuality, just a way to live freely, just a means for possibility. Because when we build on integrity, we enhance the beauty of humanity. The most beautiful societies are built from diversity of our thoughts that come to life when we're empowered individually. Because when our money tomorrow is worth more than today, we shift from predicting to creating the future ourselves. And when our money grows in value, we grow thoughtful in how we use it. Natural law drives rigor needed to fund something enduring, something truly worth it, something that pushes the sky's limit, something only possible when our real value and consequence exists in boundless virtual dimensions. Imagine potential creation, fueled by monetary life force, lasting for many generations. We will venture into new territories and unleash these possibilities once we learn to embrace the truth of our reality.
Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear outweighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Fearless.
what do you do with the Bitcoin besides it just gather value?
Real estate developers in New York City, they're not buying the real estate because they want to live in it.
But like most of the people who are buying assets at some point want to sell the assets at a profit.
People that use fiat currency as a store of value, we call them poor. We call them poor. People that use fiat currency, we call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. There's a name for them. We call them poor. We call them poor. Okay? Right, like, the point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever, Laura. Forever.
Right, but I mean, we can all look Bitcoin sort of as...
Forever, Laura. People that use fiat currency as a store of value, we call them poor. We call them poor. People that use fiat currency, we call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. There's a name for them. We call them poor. 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 Okay?
With time, a seed becomes a tree, sheltering us. With time, a skill becomes a talent, empowering us. With time, a technology becomes a tool, enhancing us. By nature, time gives value to almost everything, yet the very thing our society gives value to, our money, loses value over time. This paradox warps our reality by defying the laws of nature, and it stems from the belief that $1 today is worth more than $1 tomorrow. Meaning money must always lose value. We built our reality off of this model. Time value of money, we call it, but in reality, this is just dogma. Since we can keep making more of it, we end up destroying our own purchasing power. So we put it in stocks, put it in bonds, put it in land, put it in funds, put it in crypto, put it in gold. But we are not oracles, so what do we know? We know that it's hard to get by. We know some people may never retire. Is time value of money a license to discount the monetary value of our time? If time is money, how are we moving in different directions? We're working longer for less, we end up just giving away our freedom. Give up liberty for policies, give up our agency to the authorities. Because when our foundation is built on complexity, we simplify humans by giving up our humanity. Reality check, we've strayed too far from the truth. The world economy's a wreck when 1 + 1 no longer equals to 2. And if life's created from the truth, along the way something got screwed, and we let our own dogma subjectify value. We divorce action from consequence. We defy the law of physics when we make scarcity infinite. We disregard the language of mathematics. So our systems are built in a fallacy. Our society's based on a fantasy. In the absence of truth, we're living in the shadows of our own reality. And that's the root problem. Man-made rules can be broken. As our trust crumbles, so does the progress of our civilization. But one thing remains constant: no one can cheat nature. So why not use it to architect a stronger base layer? The most beautiful buildings engineered based on these consequences. Natural law drives rigor needed to build something enduring, uncompromising on principles that accounts for the flawed, because when our lives are at stake, the gravity of truth cannot be ignored. So if our monetary systems were designed like structures, it would embody energy and matter so the money itself matters. An unbreakable limit enforced by costliness of creation ensures the structure holds value for many generations. A rule-based system, governed by math, builds a transparent ecosystem that can self-error correct. With no one in charge, no words are taken as fact. Only work from computation can actualize truth of timestamps, and like water flowing off a cliff down the path of gravity, computational energy makes time flow one way only. It is this irreversibility which gives value to our money by upholding consensus and scarcity to create one shared reality. Now the map is the territory. Now we're working with high fidelity. Now money is truthfully time and energy bound by finality. Now we have the ability to manifest each of our dreams and build a world that is much more reflective of all of our needs. And that's the purpose of money, merely a tool to shape our reality, merely a function to harness and express individuality. It's just a way to live freely, just the means for possibility. Because when we build on integrity, we enhance the beauty of humanity. The most beautiful societies are built from diversity of our thoughts that come to life when we're empowered individually. Because when our money tomorrow is worth more than today, we shift from predicting to creating the future ourselves. And when our money grows in value, we grow thoughtful in how we use it. Natural law drives rigor needed to fund something enduring, something truly worth it, something that pushes the sky's limit, something only possible when our real value and consequence exist in boundless virtual dimensions. Imagine potential creations, fueled by monetary life force, lasting for many generations. We will venture into new territory and unleash these possibilities once we learn to embrace the truth of our reality.
What do you do with the Bitcoin besides it just gather value?
Real estate developers in New York City, they're not buying the real estate because they want to live in it.
But like most of the people who are buying assets at some point want to sell the assets at a profit.
People that use fiat currency as a store of value, we call them poor. We call them poor. People that use fiat currency, we call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. There's a name for them. We call them poor. We call them poor.
Call them poor. Oh, what a day. 73,542 on Bitcoin right now. Probably up 100K today. Don't hate that. Thank you, Hellness, for subscribing. Whoa, PayPal. PayPal was a good day. Made 53 grand on this account. I've got some on another one, so a little over 60, 65K today just off of that. Miners were good today. Guess the sky isn't falling. MicroStrategy was good today. I don't have that under this account, but I got it in other ones, and I used it to buy a bunch of Tesla. Down 4.5%, starting to maybe find support. Could drop another 14. I would love for it to. I pray for the day. So I burned through 27K in Tesla today. That's a good day. I might actually buy some SoFi too. We'll see. Mara's down today for the miners, but the others did pretty good. Of course, MicroStrategy crushes it all, up almost 11% on the day. And again, I think that short squeeze can last. I think it can last at least to 2,000, maybe 2,500, and that could happen very quick. Might do a video with Caleb Franzen, battling back and forth about MicroStrategy. It'll be pretty civil, though. He's a good dude. Also, this weekend, I'll be on Saturday and Sunday, I'll be doing sessions. I'm not sure on the timing yet, but if I'm missing people for their chart requests, members get chart requests. If I miss somebody, I'm going to try and pick them up on the weekend too. And again, I throw this stuff out on X, and I usually try and spin these up earlier in the day. Hendrick, thank you for being a whale. Really appreciate it, man. So I try and spin these up earlier in the day so people can put the requests out there, just so everybody knows. If you're a starter pack, basically the entry level, $2.99 a month, you get to pick one stock. And then if you're an alpha, you get to pick 2 stocks. And then if you're a whale, well, you get 3 because you're a whale. So you're one of my bigger supporters. And I would ask that nobody go over those limits. We'll take it at Scout's honor right now, but if I see repeat offenders and I figure out they're not what they're supposed to be, they're probably going to get blocked. So, anyway, all that stuff done. Hopefully Saturday and Sunday I'll have sessions too where I can catch up for anybody that I've missed. But if you want to get your stock pick sooner, put a $sign and go to the post when it comes up, when I talk about it on X, or when you see it pop up in your feed if you have an alert turned on, and then you can put your stock right at the top here. As you can see, some people have already done that already. So we got a few already out there. All right, without further ado, I sold about $100,000 in ETH today. I did that because EIP 4844 was deployed, which will lower layer 2 costs by up to 10x for some cryptos. Optimism and Arbitrum are 2 of them. Also, Matic benefits from it. And then there's Matic 2.0 coming out in a bit too. So these are going to be ones where they'll see their costs go down quite a bit. Layer 2s have other complexities. Invest Answers, James talks about some of these, but I still think that these 2 could do really well because they're only a few billion, maybe 3 or 4 now, and so they have the ability to go much, much higher this cycle, like much higher. Everything does. So I sold a little bit of MSTR, MicroStrategy, today too. I'm just nibbling on it. I've still got at least, I think, 230,000 left, so I'm not taking a lot of it off. I'm just using it to buy the favorite things I love. And I probably won't sell a lot more now that I've got that 100,000 because of my selling the ETH. So we'll see how that goes. Coinbase. This is my biggest shitcoin portfolio. And it's still going up. These things get a little weird. But as you can see, the month is not bad. It's up a lot. Made $77,000, it looks like. Well, yeah. It says all time, but their graphs are so weird. I have no idea, man. Maybe less than that. It's hard to keep track. Anyway, so Solana rocketing, Optimism doing all right, Arbitrum doing great. Again, these are some of those layer 2s that are going to benefit from the new protocol upgrade. Near Protocol doing good again. Polygon, another one that's going to benefit. And I get paid interest from Coinbase on Solana and Polygon, so I'm making, a few percent a year. Not bad. Bonk is up. I don't know. Don't care about most of the rest. I got a whole bunch of other shit coins, but again, they're shit coins, so who really cares? All right. Let's refresh here and see what happened across the heat map today. I don't know that this is totally refresh. I'm showing NVIDIA down 1% on the day. SMC down up 2.16. Intel down 4.4. AMD down 3.92. So there was a beating today. This hasn't quite updated, but so there's a few things that got hit, especially later in the day. They started to fall. Russell, the Russell 2000, all the small caps, only up 0.3%. NASDAQ down 0.83, and S&P down 0.19. So, but if you have my portfolio, you just made 6 figures today. So, kind of a fun day. Not much to report. I don't really care about any of this. Hey, you guys want to hear something crazy? Evidently, the mortgage applications are not doing well, and the 30-year mortgage rate is actually dropped. It's under 7 again. That's kind of cool. But really, I mean, mortgage will wake up when rates come down, and that's happening in June. Tomorrow, though, will be more fun. We have PPI data, so that's Producer Price Index. We're going to get core data. We're going to get retail sales. We got jobless claims. We got a whole bunch of really good data coming out tomorrow. That'll give us a lot of detail on what's going on. So I love that. And then we get the March mortgage rate information too. So loving tomorrow on the economic data. Trading stuff doesn't really matter. All these commodities are just fucking boring. Fear and Greed Index. We dropped again. We're under greed. Again, I've been saying for a while, I think we're just going to grind around in here because it looks like we're just doing a tabletop. We're not rolling over at all. And that appears to be what's happening. Oil's up today, 2.19%. Not much to see there. I think it still will fall. Dollar's down 0.1. So nothing crazy. I did want to point out, Yesterday, everybody said the sky was falling on miners. I think they're finding their base. Even Mara after hours, if you include the amount it's up, it was only down like less than 2% today. And CleanSpark, if you include after hours, was up over 4%. And Bitfarms was up 1.5%. So these things are, and Cypher was up almost 8%. So these things are recovering, albeit they're not going to do as good as MicroStrategy. I think Caleb is right about at least the short-term timing there. I think that MicroStrategy is going to crush it. And it's the best ETF you could ever own. So you might want to be in it. But again, I digress. I still think that Mara is doing all right. I still think Mara is going to go up over 1,000% from where it's at. So if you like that number, I think that CleanSpark, actually this is my low target on CleanSpark now too, but it's around 1,000. Thing needs to be updated. And then the smaller caps, I think these could do better. So like here's Cypher. This is just to get to the all-time high. I got to put in my all-time high targets or my new targets for Cypher and then Bitfarms. But I think miners outperform MicroStrategy. I think they can 10x pretty easy from here. And that says a lot. And then the smaller ones can maybe 15. All right, moving on. Inflation. I like this one from Jerome. Just it shows that the US CPI headline and the Fed target rate. So it shows the CPI data just plummeting really. And the headline, basically the rate that they set for the Fed is going to come down. And I think that's 100% true. And it's also going to be one of the highest raises and drops in history. So that's going to be fascinating. I think it's going to ignite the economy. I don't think it's going to melt it down. I think it's going to melt it up. And I think that's something people need to be paying attention to. Oh, let's see if there's anything else interesting here. The halving is in 36 days, 35, I think, right, or getting close right now. That is not a lot of time. It's not a lot of time. And if you know me, you know I think we're going to 92,000 in that 35 days. So you'd be pretty stupid to miss out on that. I want to reiterate this again. I don't know if it's still FUD today, but Elizabeth Warren creating bills talking about 30% taxes on miners is bullshit. It's not going to happen. She's created 305 bills. She's had 0 become law. She's co-sponsored 1,766, and 45 became law, probably because she didn't play much of a role in it. So don't worry about her. Please to God. If you guys haven't seen my Tesla video, please watch it. It's an asymmetric bet. I probably put 30K into it today. I'm very excited about it. I also did some shit talking about other miners like Hive, which looks like complete trash year over year. I don't think people should be involved in some of these. And then, what was this other one? Oh, this is Hut. Also a company that I do not love. We do not have Q4 though, so maybe it gets better. But if you guys haven't read the short report on that one, you need to. Just look these up. The tags are there. All right, so another thing, miners. Oh, miners, so scared about miners, not going to compete anymore. They're the old news. That's all bullshit too. If you look at miners here in this post, they're making more revenue than they have been for over a year, and probably even before that, probably going back to the last cycle. So yes, there's a halving coming up, but I'll show you in a second what the halving coming up looks like, and explain exactly how that works, because you should know. All right, small business credit conditions improved in February, well off recent lows and back to a higher end range over the past couple of years. Oh my God, you know what they call this? They call this an ascending broadening wedge. So this is one where it wants to break higher. So maybe the world isn't falling apart. Liz, I love her. She's great. She goes on CNBC every once in a while. February marked another month of deflation in year-over-year terms for used cars, trucks component of the CPI. I've been saying this for a while. This is also why Tesla's been taking a hit, because all car manufacturers are taking a hit. They've been in deflation. And they'll be more so because we have subsidies coming from China, and they're trying to push their trash all over the world, not just in the auto sector, but everywhere, because they're dying, and they're desperately trying to build and be the engine for the world, even though the world doesn't want them anymore. And so we're going to have a lot of surplus of goods, and there's going to be a lot of tension coming from that. You best believe it. Jerone Jackson. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right. Dude is buff as shit. If you look at these photos, it's ridiculous, man. His arms are well bigger than my head, and I do not have a small head. But he is also a brilliant dude, and posts a lot of good stuff. And he's talking about Bitcoin ETF flows and just, again, more records every day. Also, you can see really great content from my buddy James from the Best Answers. He posted like 50 metrics today on his recent show. Watch that stuff. You need to know these things. Crossroads, my friend Roy talking about PayPal and SoFi, and just like, I'm going to be doing a PayPal special here. Not a special, but it's part of a weekly thing that I'm doing with Tanner from Future Invest. And we're going to be doing it Fridays at 7:30 p.m. And we're going to be specializing in PayPal. And if you haven't seen my PayPal video from today, where the CFO was talking, it was brilliant. It's why the stock closed up 4% on the day, which for PayPal is pretty huge. My friend Seth Golden, he is awesome, talking about how the S&P has been higher in January and February 28 times since 1950, but not like this. Early year returns come never with inverted yield curve and M2 negative. My boy is bullish, and he is explaining why. There's nothing worse that an analyst can do than stay trapped in a narrative and a thesis and an ever-changing market environment. It's why bears and doomers have lost all credibility over the last 18 months. When the facts change, you should also adapt. He's talking about disinflation. I think not a lot of people have been talking about this. Caleb and I have definitely been two of them. I'm probably going to be doing an episode with him, trying to work out the details. We might argue back and forth about MicroStrategy. I think I said that at the beginning here, but he's also just somebody I want to chat with. I've never talked to him in person, and he's a cool dude. Weirdest bear market rally ain't it S&P? This is talking about March seasonal composite cycles and how we're really freaking bullish. In case you didn't know this, Ethereum upgraded today, or it should have. I haven't looked at it since. So we got 4844 Duncan, whatever, that went into effect again in regard to help improving those layer 2s through blobs. My boy Invest Answers James he isn't fond of ETH. He talks about how he still has some, but he don't have much, just to be clear. But again, I do think he's a very fair dude. And he was talking about how the mainnet does not benefit, how StarkNet, Optimism, Arbitrum, Polygon, ZSync Lite, how these are some of the things that will benefit by up to 10x, which is good. Actually, I think 12-ish or 11-ish on one of these for Polygon. So it's good that Ethereum is getting the fees down on layer 2. All right, I don't know if I got much more I want to talk about. There's a bunch. And again, this is kind of content from Caleb. I think that's probably good. Yeah, let's move on. Let's do charts or something. I think that's the right play. Let's do some charts. Let's look at Bitcoin. We'll look at some of my stuff, and then we'll look at your stuff. That's how this stuff works. 73,500 for the Bitcoins. I said earlier that I was loving this chart because of these wicks that are just continuously going higher. Bitcoin falls and it just goes back up. You can't have flows and interest like we're looking at right now and not realize that this thing is going a lot higher. I want to zoom out so you guys can see my low target. Yes, I said low target. For Bitcoin, it follows this trend going all the way back, right? This is the channel that we've been in. It's kind of perfect. Perfect in like every way. It's almost perfectly aligned, top and bottom levels. So the support zone and the resistance zone. And I think that bare minimum May 2025, we're looking at $280,000 on Bitcoin, which I think is pretty cool. Me, Kevin, is going short on Tesla. Jesus Christ, I love that guy, but I don't know what the fuck is going through his head. Maybe he needs to come on here and learn something. Oh, he's a good dude. He's smart about a lot of stuff. Also just works his ass off. He's got a lot going on, though, with his family and his kids, so maybe that's it. Anyway, back to business. Bitcoin, again, 280,000 on the low. That's probably enough said. All right, I'm going to scroll back up. I'm going to scroll back up here, and we're going to start at the top. Oh, I got to get my stuff. What am I thinking? So let's just quickly, let's jump through all of them. We'll go through Palantir real quick. Again, I'm not totally in love with Palantir. Oh, I got to use my shortcut. My friend's got a shortcut for me. My friends give me shortcuts. I need to use them. So Palantir, again, I think this is just not going to be super supportive. If we can stay above the peak volume here, then maybe we stand a chance. But I'd say the chance of dropping underneath of it, testing the support in the 23 range, and then falling underneath of that, and at least testing the .786 fib around 21. I think that's the most likely path. And I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if we even got down to like 18. I don't know when this is going to happen. And again, maybe I'm wrong. If the macro market is bullish as F, and I mean, if you watch that video from Alex Karp interview on CNBC today, I retweeted it from Tom Nash and from JAWMM. I don't know. I can't remember his ID too well. But I retweeted it from them. It was brilliant. He was talking about cocaine addicts that are shorting their stock. I mean, it was just, he's such a cool guy. He is so my speed. And again, they're a brilliant company. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they find support here and then just trend higher and hit the 30. Maybe there's S&P inclusion that'll come. Stuff can happen, and they're a great company. I mean, I'm not going to shit on Palantir. I love that company. As I make more money from these other asymmetric bets, I will be buying into Palantir. That is the plan. Again, SoFi down 1.34% today. Maybe we retest and get a full line down here in like the 710 range. I'm a buyer. I'm buying Tesla first, man. Like you get a 4.5% down Tesla day, you buy. And so that's my priority. But this one's on my list too of things to keep track of. Oh, shortcut. All right, Square. I will learn this. I will force myself to. That's what happens when that's what you got to do when you're in your late 40s. All right, I'm going to turn this green. Probably going to jinx it. But I think our resistance zone, at least on the weekly, let me turn it to daily. On the daily time frame, for the first time in a very long, our first attempt was August 22nd. We tried to break above this. Here we are, March 2024, and we have broken above on the daily and closed that for Square. I think it's a bare minimum run to 90, and honestly, I don't see a lot of friction. If I look out here, I don't see a lot of friction till 100. So expect it. Expect $100 on Square, because that's what's coming. Oh, shortcut. Gotta use it. Gotta use the shortcut. Oh no, I did the wrong shortcut. Okay. What else we got? The pay to the pal. Sorry about telling my haters to go fuck themselves in my last video today after that CFO interview, but I couldn't help it. I mean, I'm not sorry either. I'd be lying if I said I was, but all right, so here we go. So again, we tested, and look at this. If you don't believe in the power of technicals, then how come this pretty little resistance line that I drew to, ages ago is perfectly aligned with where we hit and then retraced from today? And I was saying for the last week, I would like to get above the 200. I'd like to test up against this resistance line. And I think as the days progress here and as we hit this, the narrative around PayPal will grow because people will look at that interview. There'll be articles written. There'll be analysts that maybe are thinking about revising targets. As that happens, we will see $68-ish on the stock, 69 if we're lucky. And what I want to say, these little circular things that I got here, this would be another higher high. We got higher lows, which means it's higher. It's a higher low than it was before, but we would have our second higher high, which is a change in the trend, in a 3-year trend. 3 years. This is the first change in trend, real change in trend. In 3 years. And you can get 10, 20x multiplier with leaps on PayPal. Probably only like 10 on the 2026 if you want to buy yourself, almost 2 years. Seems like a good deal. Just saying. Anyway, moving on. Hood. Up to no good in the hood. So many good things happening with this one. My buddy Tanner, Roy, Crossroads, otherwise known as Crossroads. And then Amit's been talking about this one a lot. My other boy. We're right up against the fib again. I said this in my post. Wouldn't surprise me if we got right up against it and looked to break through it. We're going to break through it, guys and gals. And then here's the crazy, crazy stuff. Nothing but net for 80%, 75%. Nothing but net. And to the people who follow me that are up 400, 600% on their calls with Hood, congratulations. We salute you. All right, what else we got? Yeah, I want to do MSTR. Why not? The short squeeze. This thing is going to be, this is some GameStop level shit going on here. If you don't realize that. Tomorrow, I think we break through the 2000s tomorrow. I think that's pretty possible. And then I think 2500 maybe before any kind of real retrace. I don't know. It's hard to know. It depends on how much pain the shorts are going to go through. It's going to be a lot of pain. Going to be a lot of pain. Can't understand why anybody would stand in front of this train. All I can assume is that they don't know what's in front of them. This one is up 1,860%. Who would have known from the bottom? It's probably up 15%, 1,500% since December of 2022. Who would have known that this thing was so... Yeah, no, sorry. I should use the right one. That was from the previous cycle. Who would have known that this thing would run 1,200% since December of 2022? Brilliant play on this one. If you would have been in December 2022, if you would have been in GBTC first, covered that 50% discount closure, and then just jumped into MicroStrategy, stupid fucking rich. You would have made so much money. You probably would have 20x. And not really crazy investments. It's just hilarious. It's really funny. All right, let's do Tesla real quick. I forgot to use my shortcut. I'm gonna kick myself until I get that right. So again, love the drop today. Love it, love it, love it. We'll see if we can find support here. It's a good zone for support, which is about why I put another like 25, 30,000 into Tesla calls today for June 2026, 95. Nope, that's wrong. $330, June 2026. And again, don't just buy these things. Watch my options video, please to God. Just type in options. It's not that hard. But I think we could go down another 13%, 12.5%. Close this gap. Why not? Just get her done. So I hope we break through. If that happens, I'm probably going to put 50,000 into calls, maybe 60. We'll see. We'll see. At least 50. But I also don't know if that's going to happen. I think we could go up. So be prepared for that. Moving on. Oh, and some dipshit analyst who's like a total loser and who has like a horrible review on the analyst website. I forget which one. I forget the name off the top of my head for some reason. But he has like a quarter of a star. I don't know, whatever the level is they can give you that's the absolute lowest. Horrible success rate. There's like 500 people underneath of him, but you got to really work hard to be that bad. So he lowered the price target for Tesla. So if you want to listen to shitty people who don't know what they're talking about and take advice from them, totally follow this guy. I won't even show you the article, so you'll have to do some work. Anyway, that's all I got there. Miners. Kind of boring. If you guys bring it up, cool. We can look at one. I don't really care that much. Arc Genomics. They will take off, though, when their turn comes. All right. And I should have used the shortcut. God. So hopeless. That's what happens when you get old, guys. You just can't learn new things. It's a lot harder. All right, so ArcG was up 0.27%, but the calls were up more. I like that. You'll learn with options. I always do this is another trick. I don't know if I actually say this in my video, but instead of just buying in hard to options, instead, a really, really smart move is buying one contract. It allows you to track the price, and that way you can start to figure out if you like it or not. Tip ranks, thank you. God, intelligent computing is also really, really a great person to have in chat as he fills in my gaps. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. But yeah, so I love that, because what happens a lot with these investments is the options, the more volatile, higher beta item will move first. And so options are doing better, which gives me a sign that maybe this thing, for the first time in a while, will actually break peak volumes and turn it into support. It hasn't done that. It hasn't done that at all. Going all the way through here, right? Every time it came back down, it just fell through. Just fell through. Tried to go back up, fell right through. Tried to go back up, fell right through. Didn't even get over it, fell down. What happens when it stays above it? It's coming. Maybe pay attention to that. I don't know. I would. I mean, I am. So there's that. What else we got? I'm trying to see if there's anything else I want. Oh yeah, I should talk about ETH too, Ethereum. Since our Duncan, whatever, since that happened today. Again, this is why I sold, and I could be wrong. I'm wrong sometimes. I'm not a perfect human being. I haven't found one yet, but I do know that we did nothing but launch from 2,200 to over 4,000, and now we hit the fib, and this would be a good place to fall. And if I look here on the daily, I can see that we've been up here for a while, and there is a reason there is a thing called the Sell the News event. So, and the news just happened. Now it didn't, the narrative for the layer 2 stuff hasn't happened yet, which is again why I own it. The Optimism, the Arbitrum, the ones that are starting to really scream, and Matic. That narrative is just starting, right? So I'm happy to stay in those. But why not take 100K out of this and buy a bunch of Tesla and whatever else comes up? Plus, it's good to have cash every once in a while. And when you make six-figure, like whatever your threshold is for the day, when you make like a good number and things have treated you really well, shaving a little bit of cash off isn't a bad idea. And it can make you happy when things tank and you actually have some money to buy them. If nothing else, the psychological benefit you get from that is well worth doing it, even if it isn't a lot of money. So if that's another tip I can give you, buy one options contract and track it before you end up purchasing. It's like taking a car out for a test drive and then figuring it out for like a month and then being like, oh, hells yeah, I want some of that. And then also you get the benefit of figuring out, like I showed a little bit ago with ARCG, you get the benefit of figuring out, oh, hey, maybe this stock's getting ready to take off because the options are starting to see a lot of interest. That's kind of cool too. And whatever else I just said. Oh yeah, sell the news events. Pay attention to that stuff too. It's just smart to do. And the fourth thing, there was a fourth thing. And smash the likes. Thank you, Intelligent Computing. And the fourth thing was just making sure that you give yourself a little bit of cash, because human psychology is a powerful thing, and you don't realize how much control your emotions have over you. And give yourself a reason to be positive. So nibbling a little bit on tax advantage accounts. When I'm trading in and out, I'm doing it in IRAs. I don't know what country you're in. I don't know what the taxes are, but I'm doing it in vehicles that I don't have to pay taxes until I cash it out, not when I trade it. The other stuff, regular investment accounts, that's where I buy my long-term stuff and sit on it for a year. Do that if you're in the United States, okay? Very smart. All right, I think that's it for my rants. I think that's a lot of the stuff I wanted to show you. I'm going to start off at the top of the list here. And we are going to move on and try and roll through your guys' requests. And if you guys just popped in and you missed the beginning of the episode, I will, Saturday and Sunday, also be doing these. Maybe for an hour or two, so people can request charts and I can go through it. And then again, make sure you got the ring and the bell thing going on, because that way, whenever I post, I usually try and do it at the beginning of the day, or at least by midday. My stream that's going to be coming up, then you can add your notes at the top. Just put $, whatever stock. Starters could do 1, Alpha could do 2, Whales could do 3. And that way you can get your stuff in early if I missed you, okay? That's the way we're going to have to do it. I think me doing this 7 days a week, and then you guys trying to prioritize your stuff at the top if you really care, and then people being fair and waiting their turn, I think this will go really well. All right, so ISRG, I do not have that one. So initially too, when I don't have them, it takes a little while to kind of build it up and look up the financials. But as time goes on, I'm going to get better at this. I might even build a website, guys, that has the links to all the charts that we review, so that you can see them and see the latest shared version without even looking them up for me. That's something that's on my radar to do. So if you guys like that idea, indicate that in chat. All right, let me pull this up. ISRG. Intuitive Surgical, is that what we're looking at? Interesting. Let me get up here real quick. Make sure I don't miss it. I'm not going to look at chat for a little bit while I'm doing this, guys. I might have to open up like another chat so I can keep up with chat and keep my place, because I just hate fucking that up. So, two things. We're going to look up ISRG, Intuitive Surgical. Okay. All right, so I got the stock up. I'm going to save it. Looks like it's done all right. Looks like it's kind of starting its next phase, right? March of 2020, let's do a trend-based fib extension because we can. March 2020 is a pretty easy way to start on a lot of these charts because that's the low on most of them. Then you go up to the next like really strong high before you get a big retrace. And a big retrace, maybe like at least 15, 20%. Depends, you know, on a lot of factors. But try and look for something substantive, right? Now, again, golden retracement, kicked this thing down pretty good, right? But now it went up. Maybe we try and retest the previous highs here and or the .618 before going higher. That would make, from a technical view, I would just think that. And then maybe we try to do the 430. Now the question is, it looks like these guys do a decent job beating, but they got a couple of misses. We have an earnings coming up. That could make it more volatile. Let's look here at the actual financials. And this is what I like to specialize in, guys. I like to look at the whole picture and learn as much as I can about a company instead of just some charts and giving you some bullshit where I'm not looking at the whole picture and I'm giving you the wrong information. If you look at this will give you a better guide on how much to believe in the charts and what path they might take and how much strength it might have behind it. So it's very important. I love the revenue. I love that the net income just shot up. What is it? $606 million for a $134 billion company. It's not bad. P ratio 76. I don't know about medical instrument companies and how much of a PE they can demand. That seems high. Institutional is large. Not a lot of insider, not a lot of retail. Operating expenses ticked up. Cash looks good. Everything looks good here. What are the estimates? Estimates are more growth and kind of steady increase. So this is kind of a steady eddy. It's a nice looking stock, but maybe it retraces a little bit. Maybe it can retrace to, you know, the 370-ish to the 360 range. I would look out for that. But yeah, looks like a strong company. If we did get some strong retraces in this, might not be a bad thing to look at, right? Cypher, yeah, we can do Cypher. Cypher had a good day. This is one of my favorites, actually, for asymmetric opportunity. Just to be clear. Oh, the MOVE index. That's the bond volatility index. It looks like that is having some fun. Oh, I guess I don't have to do this again. So here's what I loved about this one and why I put like over 150K into it and moved some from Bitfarms and some from some other stuff, or cash, whatever, is because of how long we've been in this range where peak volume with this red line is holding. Like you can see how we're starting to hold it. And if we get above like this next fib at like the 390 or $4 range, if we can really get above $4, then we're above all volume. And this thing is only $1 billion, which is not a lot in minor terms. Mara is like 5 or 6 now. Let me see. Mara is 5.27 and CleanSpark is 3.4. So this thing's relatively small in scale. And when it's this small, it takes less money, like a less volume of money. Like when these things get money flowing in, this thing will be the more vol. It'll have higher beta than the bigger caps. So this will have high beta. Bitfarms will have high beta. And then you'll have a little less in CleanSpark, and then you'll have a little less in Mara. And so that's the way you need to look at them. The large caps are probably going to be more consistent, but these will have higher vol, and that will turn into bigger percentages to the upside. That's my take on that, and it looks fucking great. I mean, I won't go over here to the fundamentals because we look at those a decent amount. Just wanted to get my stock in early. Your insights on Cypher. Yeah, thanks, dude. Hi, Jesse. BBAI. Okay, let's pull it up. BBAI. I don't think I have it, so let's find it. And I love you guys, and I appreciate all the support, man. I really do. It's been crazy to think that I've been monetized for less than 2 months and been doing this for like 3, really. Not even. I made a couple of videos saying, I'm going to be a YouTuber. But that was about it in the beginning for the first like 3 months or 2 months. And then here we are. Oh, I guess I might have had this one, Big Bear. That seems like one I've already looked up. I don't like the slam dunks we're seeing here, but I like that it's above peak volume. For sure. That is exciting. But let's look here. So this one, from a technical level, like it's near the bottom. So we don't need to pay too much attention to that, right? But we need to see, oh yeah, this is the one that's got the little bear. It kind of looks like a monkey from here, unless you zoom in. Now, lots of debt. Looks like it wants to have positive net income. Revenue looks flat. I don't love that. Estimates are that revenue is going up. I like that. EPS is like, eh. So they're starting to become a profitable company. They have a cap with 387 million, and you can't really get a gauge on the PE for the rest of it here. But for under $1 billion company in the IT services end, I don't know this company, but they are one I'm interested in. A lot of insider shares that could suck because they could dump, especially if the price goes up a lot, so it could suppress it a little bit. 6.22% short interest, based out of Maryland. Interesting. Small stakes right now from BlackRock, Bank of America, Vanguard. So this thing has some room to go up, and I don't hate it. And this is actually on one of my other lists, and I'm going to look at this one too. I need to make sure I'm looking at opportunities in some of these, because I don't hate the fact that this is tech, and I don't hate the fact that it's so heavily beat down. This is definitely one where I'm going to prioritize it. Probably going to put it in my number 1 slot for checking out. I do need to draw. Do a trend-based fib extension. We're going to do it from, what is this? 2022. Up. Here. So again, peak volumes, we try to get over the fib. We try to get over that first and second, like into the third fib before it just failed. So this thing has just been crushed. Has not been kind. I think if these guys start to meet their quarters, it's going to be interesting. I haven't looked at options on this either. I'm going to do both of those things. And if I find anything interesting on this, I'm going to throw it out in a members only video. And I think what I'm looking to do is at least a period of 2 weeks where I send out videos like this. And again, don't just jump into this shit, even though I'm putting it out there. Watch the Options 101 video. Make sure that you're not getting things at a higher price than what I've looked at, or like a lot of people have rushed into it and it's up a lot. Like, if nothing else, just do the starter share thing, and or look for other chains that might be a good deal, have high volume and open interest, and that are a better deal because a bunch of people flooded into this. But hopefully, since we're just going to be giving this to members only for the first 2 weeks, and then we'll release it publicly, we can give everybody a good ability to be able to do their research and get an entry if they want to, before a lot of people figure it out that don't contribute to the channel, that don't support it. Because again, like, we're a team here, right? You support me, I support you, and that's the way it should work. So this will be at the top of my list of ones to check out, and I'll let you know if I like the options. Love this peak volume up here. Again, it looks like this thing could easily go to like the 779 to 960 range. So I like that. I really like that. I'm going to report on this one over the weekend too. Might even be this week. Maybe I'll do this tomorrow, earlier in the day, and give you guys my 2 cents. And then you'll have it for 2 weeks before we publicly release. So yeah, thank you for bringing that one up again, man. This is what I love about this community. If you guys find stuff like this, where just incredibly beat up, this is the kind of stuff that hopefully you can get updates on your own too. I get it. You're trying to find tops, whatever. That's cool. You got your own interest to look out for. Let's do that too, right? But if you can think about companies where you think that they're incredibly undervalued and there is an opportunity there that everybody here can benefit from, and you need to have like consensus where we talk through it and think about it, bring that stuff up. This is a great example of that. This is something that is down real quick. And I'm sorry I'm focusing so much on this, but I think it's really important. So let's go to the peak here, because we all benefit from this kind of stuff, right? We're not just helping one person or maybe a couple of people. We all could find opportunity here. And that's the kind of stuff. That's what I specialized in, right? That's what I did with Meta when I was trying to tell people to buy Meta in the 80s, and I bought a bunch of leaps in 2022 into 2023. Same with Tesla when it was near $100. Same with Palantir when it was in the 7s, and I was trying to tell people to buy it. And same, with Square when it was down at the bottom, and PayPal here recently, and Hood when it was near the bottom before people made 400, 600, 700% from buying it. This is the kind of stuff where we can all benefit from it, right? So let's be smart and try and do that. Look at that. This thing's already up 8%. You can't even tell because it's been so fucking crushed, and it's down over 85% from the high. But like, it's already doing good. There could be real opportunity here. That's all I'm saying. And if you know how to figure this stuff out on your own, I mean, do it ahead without me. I think it's a good opportunity, so check it out. Anyway, moving on. So I'm not gonna forget the bear. We're gonna remember the bear. BZ. I think this is Verizon. Am I wrong? Is that a thing for BZ? Maybe I don't have it. Let's do make a copy. BZ. Sorry for ranting. It's what I specialize in, though. It's kind of like my greatest skill and worst weakness. Best weakness? All right, let's see here. I knew it. It's Verizon. Wow, this guy's got pummeled to shit and back, didn't they? I feel like mobile networks are becoming more decentralized. Maybe I'm wrong. Wow, this one has had just a lot of stuff happening here. What's our market cap? 169 billion. Ooh, they had a quarter that sucked, didn't they? I just feel like, I don't know. I don't see why I wouldn't be invested in companies like this, or at least I would be taking, profits higher. It's just like, look at the revenue. It's so flat. And how do you grow in this business? And then you have 157 million in debt and not a lot of cash. You can dilute shares. If you got cash flow, you're fine. They do. But your net income dropped. You lost $2.7 billion in a quarter. I'm assuming that's like a one-time. Maybe somebody else knows more here. I'll scroll down and see if I'm talking to myself here. Hey, thank you for everybody who joined. Jeez, guys. Thank you. But yeah, if you've got something you want to say about Verizon, I'm looking at the notes at the bottom too, so I'd be happy to talk to it. But maybe that's a one-time quarter thing. But again, it's like this is a steady Eddie company. There's nothing really exciting here. And it got beat up pretty good. Probably finding support here. But will it do that well with all the asymmetric bets that are out there? Do people care? So many small caps are beat up. They can give you a much greater return. I think large to mid caps that haven't dropped 70 to 80%, who gives a shit? That's my take. You might not like to hear that. This is your stock, but that is my take. All right. So let's use our dots, and then let's look at the next thing. Jumping back up here. Rocket Labs, RKLB. I have not looked this one up. I know people want me to. I know people, I don't know if it's Dan Ives or somebody was talking about this. Maybe it's interesting. You guys tell me down in chat, why is this interesting to me? Why should I care? Tell me why I care about Rocket Labs, besides the fact that it's destroyed. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to draw the stuff out, okay? But please help me. Help me here. Help me know why I care. Is this anything more than just a high-risk thing, or is there stuff happening that I should know about? That's what I really care about, right? Like, is there stuff happening? Why am I just, like, stupid right now? I forget where stuff is. Jiminy Christmas, dude. Is it here? Where did am I going senile? I mean, it's possible. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, okay, I found it. Jiminy Christmas. I even sound old saying it that way. Ah, right. All right, so we're on the peak volume. I like that. We're above it. It's not horrible. This thing's gotten dunked a few times, though, and this looks like maybe it could want to go lower. Now, let's see why, and then I'll check notes. End-to-end space company. Love that idea. They have second most launched rocket. I know I've heard that. When are they going to make money? When are they going to not bleed? Because here's the deal, that all those things might be true, but does it take another year? Look at Tesla's stock for 4.5 years before it went up 3,300% in a year and a half. It was not pretty, right? And they were the best EV maker out there. I still say they are. But like, look, when you're burning money at $50 million a quarter, you're valued at $2.1 billion, your cash is disappearing. You're going to see lots of dilution in this company's future. So here's the deal. I don't give a shit about this company. But if you do, keep watching this company and let me know if there's any hint that cash is going to get better, that dilution's going to slow down, that revenues are going to increase, that net income isn't going to burn so badly, that their cash flow is going to get better. I mean, they are seeing increased revenue here in their estimates, but they're still bleeding on the EPS, earnings per share. So I don't love that. So if you see this stuff, if you think it's starting to get better, check Amit Investing after Jesse's stream. He's all over it. Okay. Also turn up. I don't know what that means. If you're not paying for premium, sometimes they do ads and they turn down my volume and then they turn up ads and you get your ears blasted out. But if you're using YouTube Premium, you're not going to have that problem. But yeah, let me know when I should give a shit about Rocket Labs. Otherwise, we could pull it up too. I don't care. It's all good. But I don't give a shit about it right now. I really don't. It's a $2 billion company that's losing money. But I hope to in the future. It would be awesome if we had 2 decent space companies. How kick-ass would that be? Given your recent MSTR versus miner video, does it make sense to rotate out of FBTC into MSTR at these levels? Or wait, I would do it. Not financial advice. I'm a high school dropout. There's like a bunch of disclaimers at the bottom. You're talking to a guy who got his GED and who's a wannabe macroeconomist and I don't know, pretty lucky in life. So take it for what it's worth. But I personally would dump into MSTR. And it's down 1.5% after hours, especially tomorrow. Like, let's say PPI comes in hot, producer price index inflation data. If that came in hot, man, and MicroStrategy got a dump, and so did, your Fidelity ETF, get into MicroStrategy. That's my take. Not financial advice, because I'm a loser who got rich and lucky. All right. Load layout. I forgot to do my dot. I'm sorry, bro. I'm working on it. IOVA. Oh, I don't have it anyway. Let's go to make a copy. IOVA. Reminds me of Iwuga. Iwuga? It's like that. The cartoon. Anyway, whatever. I like Chinese propaganda anyway. But it was all right. Iovance Biotherapeutics. Here we go. Biotech. You guys love your biotech lately. It's like chips and biotech, right? That's what everybody loves. Oof. What the fuck? What kind of mountain is that? Oh. So you can see a series of failures in this company. 2011 was probably the start of one. And then I would say that 2021 was another start of failure. Are we at the start of failure now, or are we going to go up? Really great question. We've got a $4 billion company. And we're going to look at these financials and see how ugly or how beautiful they might be and see if this gets on my naughty list or my good one. Let's see. Quarter revenues. Why am I missing so much revenue information? Oh, they just never had any. That's probably what it was. That's probably it. So they got revenue now. Good for you guys. What is that? $482,000. Good quarter, guys. That's sarcasm. But you burned $116 million. Yeah, fuck this company. But if any of this changes, if this gets better, oh hey, wait a second. Q2, huh? I don't think the narrative will build up right away though. This is probably a good one to wait on. Bring this back to me in a month or two, maybe before our Q1 earnings. I'd be interested in seeing what their guidance is and maybe doing a members only review of their financials for the quarter once they come out, like maybe do a live stream of it while they're releasing them, because this looks interesting and I would want to get in before the big hump, because that's where the narrative could get more positive. And so I'd maybe throw a little bit in at this, but I'll check for an options play on this one. Just do me a favor, bring it up later. Bring it up in like a month or something, before, like right before their earnings, like a week or two before their earnings, so that I can get this queued up, and then we can. I'm drawing on my hand, evidently, and then we can look at this one and see if maybe this is a decent thing to throw like 1% of my allocation towards, or maybe even 0.5%, just to get it out there, because it might be interesting to see if this one is going to grow. And again, like, biotherapeutics sounds like a good sector to be in. And now that they're getting revenue, I'm more excited about it. There's no retail. There's not a lot of insider. And there's tons of institutional interest here. massive short interest. So if these guys are starting to figure shit out, they're diluting a lot right now. But again, maybe this next quarter that gets better. Yeah, I'm interested. Please bring it back to me later if you could keep an eye on that, because I can only do so much, man. So if you guys kind of run with some of these, then that's kick ass. We can team this stuff up. But I like the setup, dude. I like this. Looks like it has potential. I take it back. Crow. Is Crow a shit coin, or is that Kronos? Is that a shit? Oh, here I see. Make a gift. Crow. I'm gonna scroll down. Let me know if Crow is a shit coin that you're talking about, or if it's an actual stock. Because some of these, it's hard to tell. I'm going to say it's not a stock. So let's go to crypto. If this is that old ass, like, oh, it's crypto.com. You could see a resurgence here, maybe. They didn't get washed out with all the other shit. So maybe Crow does all right. Yeah, that's not a bad play, actually, now that I think about it. I don't like exchange tokens just because I'm afraid, like, I still think they're going to fuck CZ with Binance. I mean, he still can't go anywhere, right? They're holding him prisoner. So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to come after any of these guys, at least their US bank. I could see this going to 25 cents pretty quick, though. Yeah, that's kind of an interesting thing to think of. I don't know. I still think crypto.com, I don't know. Maybe I think that that's more risky than like a Coinbase where you got like 7 funds that are working with it. But if you're into risk, this could have a decent multiplier. I just don't. I don't love I don't love exchange that have their own staking tokens. But I mean, I say that, and Coinbase does. But I mean, they're also publicly traded, and you know, you're pretty good. So I think that's a key difference there. But maybe this does all right. All right, let me get back up. We're rethinking it. I don't know what that means. Maybe that's a comment about something I was doing. All right. What else we got here? Ioba Crow, BCHG. Oh, MSTY. Yeah, okay. What is MSTY? I don't even know if I know what that is. Let me make a copy. I don't know if this is like some leveraged fund. But we're going to find it out together. The title, trust, yield max, MicroStrategy, option income. What? I don't know what this is, dude. I got to do more research on this. I don't know what this is. I know it went up 6.71% today, and MicroStrategy went up 11. So I don't know if I like this, whatever this is. I think I would rather just own MicroStrategy. That's where I would want. I don't want. It's already not direct. MicroStrategy isn't directly connected to Bitcoin holdings, right? Because it's not an ETF. It's not forced to buy and sell based upon the allocations coming in or leaving. So I don't know that I would want to take something that's already disconnected from Bitcoin and then grab a thing that's disconnected from MicroStrategy that's disconnected from Bitcoin, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to say no on this one without knowing any more about it. That's my take. BCHG. I don't know if I've already done that one. Let's find out. BCHG. Nope. Copy. I'm going to get better at that. BCHG. Grayscale Bitcoin Cash Trust. Bitcoin Cash. I won't touch it. I'm sorry, dude. I love Roger Ver. I mean, I don't like him, but I love anybody that was supporting crypto, especially back in the day. But people that try and fork their shit coins and then have them go down 95%. Bitcoin Cash is like the key. And I'm sorry to shit on your thing, dude. But I'm just going to be honest, okay? Over 93% of shit coins from last cycle will not compete with Bitcoin this cycle. And that is almost 98% if you go back 2 cycles. This is a 2 cycle. So there is a 1 in 50 chance that this thing does better than Bitcoin. Why would you want those odds? Get rid of this fucking trash. If it's a bag you've held for a while, I'm sorry. Say goodbye to it. Whatever you do, it's gone. Just let it go. Let it go. Buy something that isn't shit. Or buy shit that better shit like Solana, Optimism, ARB, these layer 2 Ethereum solutions, maybe Near Protocol, so a little bonk, whatever. Like, you can do your own thing too. Really great stuff coming from James with Invest Answers, but just don't hold on to garbage. And that's garbage, so I'm not going to look it up. BA, I think I've done that one before. Let's try. And in case you guys are new here, I am somebody who will tell you what I think you should hear. It might not be what you want to hear. So just be prepared for that. Like planes. Nobody fucking cares about airlines. They're very costly. They have all this government regulation and like crap coming at them all the time. Now they have went up, but I would argue that we're in a period of maybe where they could struggle more. I don't know. Maybe they do all right. But like, I go back to this. Why would you want this bet when there's so many asymmetric opportunities out there? Getting some Bitcoin, getting some fintech, getting some Arc Genomics. I don't know about chips. Chips is pretty, and like the biotech. Arc Genomics is great because there's like 50 or 100 different things in there. And I think people give Kathy Wood a really hard time, but let me just explain something real quick about ArcG. Then I'll get back to this. Arc Genomics is like a venture capital fund. Venture capital funds will invest in 100 different things, and if one or two of them take off, they're rich. That's what Arc Genomics is. Arc Genomics also has an options chain that's sick, and you should check it out in one of my videos I've done, where there's a very asymmetric opportunity, a 10x plus, the underlying. So like with ArcG, if they went up from where they're at, and they're at 29 right now, if they went up to like the 50s, which they can do, that's what a 200 moving average is, then that could 10 to 20x with their options play. Kind of a good deal. So to me, it's like, why not make an asymmetric bet with a small amount of your portfolio with that instead of like these things that are slower moving and maybe that aren't going to do as well. And I don't really know what we're doing here because we had this top, fell hard, and then we kind of have this double top next. Or like some boobs or something. I don't know what we're looking at. I just think that now that we're under the .618, I'm scared that we're going to at least test to the 200 and the 159 range, and then maybe we get down to the 134 or down to this next fib, the 120. And if we got down to like if we could bounce up here, that might be a good sign, and there might be some more upside. But if we couldn't bounce at the 200 and close underneath of it for like, and that's the monthly average. I should switch to the weekly. That's probably better. That's probably more fair. And I don't even have... Why are my averages not showing here? Oh, here, let me fix this. What is going on? Why aren't you showing? Should show. Oh, there we go. I don't know why this is happening. Let me fix them. Okay. So no matter what. So yeah, it's even kind of worse because we're under the .618. We're already underneath the 50, the 100, and the 200. So the ability to cascade and kind of fall down lower is pretty high on this one. And again, I don't see real support starting until like the 160, 150, down to 135. So maybe here it starts to get more support right through here. So I don't love this at all. Not at all. Don't even want to look at the financials. At least short term. Hey Jesse, excited about being here. I am happy to have you, Pab. Not sure why, but you have me blocked on Twitter. Oh, dude, I block people like fucking crazy. Yeah, just in chat, throw in what your ID is on Twitter, and I'll unblock you, especially since you're a member here. And I don't know, I could have been like PMSing and had a bad day. I mean, shit happens. But if you're giving me money, I'm gonna unblock you, as long as you're not a dick. That's pretty much a rule, right? Grab. All right. Let's do that. I don't like having a lot of enemies. I would unblock just about anybody as long as they stop being a dick. That's really my rule. And maybe you weren't one. Again, maybe it was me. Okay, so we've been finding support above volume for a while. Kind of dig that. I do think that if I remember correctly, this one, the financials are a little choppy. I'm not going to do the whole diatribe, but I just want to see what they are. So grab holdings. Oh, this might have been on the short list. I don't have that right in front of me. Yeah, it is on the short list. So the estimates are higher and they're starting to become profitable. So this is probably a tie with the BBAI one. And maybe I'll do separate videos for each. I should just do that. I should give separate videos. That way you guys can just check each one out and figure out which one you might like. So this will be on the list. So that's it for grab right now. I'll do more later. All right. Watching YouTube clip on SoFi from your buddy. I think his name is Tanner. It is Tanner. Future Invest. He's brilliant. He's a great guy. That's why I'm doing a Friday show with him. Hi, Jesse. Epic mic drop moment at the end of today's. Yeah, I'm sorry about giving him the finger and telling him to fuck off, but I kind of felt that way. I agree on the great hood call. You are welcome. Thanks. Like this remix. The music was good. Do you think SoFi short squeeze can happen if we have a couple more good cues? I said that this could happen, I believe, in less than 3 months. I think we're going to $12 in less than 3 months on SoFi. That's my bet. My bet is actually January 2025 with the calls, but really it would be nice to have them do well in the next 3 months because of the drop and the cliff that happens with extrinsic value. Watch that Options 101 video, guys, if you haven't seen it. You need to understand this stuff. You need to at least have the basics. And if you still have questions, let me know what they are. Jesse, thanks for everything about the hood. Okay, yeah. Sometime put Tesla low at the end. And still have all the proceeds. Oh, okay. Plan to sell some and put it. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. As you go up, maybe do it slowly because I think Tesla could keep dropping maybe for a little bit. Maybe like add some to that, but don't sell out a hood maybe too quickly. Not financial advice. Also, what's the name of the song with Michael Saylor? That is my boy Little Bubble. He is my new friend. He is a good dude. He's been around for years. He's insane. He just put like on a space outfit, started making music about crypto, and he's a good shit. And he lets me use his music for free. So thank you, Crypto Bubble. You're a good dude. Have a look at the BTYSD. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So intelligent computing was talked about. And if you have charts, dude, if you have charts where you could just share them with me so I don't have to do the work of trying to pull them up against the Egyptian pound and the Argentina, like just making my shit easier, I would take them if you sent me a link. And to share a chart, real quickly, all you got to do is click the toggle over here for sharing, and then you just it'll give you a link, and you put copy link, and then you can. I don't let it autosave. I do it myself, but that's a good way to kind of get it to where we can share between each other too, not just me sharing to you guys, but if you got stuff you want to share to me, I'm more likely to do it. The less work I got to do, the better. Oh, wow. Awesome. Thanks. Not sure why, but you're welcome. Jesse, here's another tip for you. Pop out the chat window and create a copy of the pop-out. Can I do that? Pop-out chat. Oh, dude. Fucking right. And then I can restore chat. Oh, no. It just does that one. So let me read it here again. Sorry, this is something I need to learn for next time because this will probably make it where it's easier for me to do this stuff with you guys. So I need to read what he's saying here. Let me find it again. Do you think SoFi? Also, have a look at BTYST. Good tunes, brother. Jesse, here's another tip for you. This is from Intelligent Computing. You are a stud, dude. I can tell you know what you're doing. Pop up the chat window and create a copy of the pop chat window. And as you keep one showing the chat that you're focused on and the other one on the current, I'm going to do that. I'll see if I can replicate that. I like the way of doing that. That way I can keep my place and not have to go back and forth and I get lost because I think that wastes time. So really appreciate you, dude. Hey, Jesse, a second to the above request for a BBI AI. All right, it's on the list, guys. So will Tesla drop more after Q1 earnings? It could. Q1 sucks for Tesla. Q1 is not good. But I do think that, again, the narrative real quickly here, starting in June, so technically maybe Q2 will be much more positive because rates will be coming down. And markets usually like to front run. So I don't know. Again, my goal right now with Tesla, it's right at a support level. If it can't maintain that, it could drop another 12, 13%. It can go into the 140s. I will buy. Shit, if it goes down to 100, I'll buy. If it goes down to 69, I will laugh and buy. A lot. I would put $1 million in calls. Oh my God, that would be so much fun. Anyway, you guys got me excited there. Thank you for that. How about PayPal today, everyone? Those 2026s are popping. Need to load more on any pullbacks. I agree. Stick with 2026. Stay safe. 2025 is just too soon. I love buying myself time. Give yourself a wicked return. As long as you got like a 3 to 5x at least multiplier. And I think 2026s are still pulling in like 7 or more as a multiplier to the underlying. You're good. That's a wicked multiplier. Give yourself time to be successful. That is my 2 cents. Bonjour, Jesse. Can you do DLO? Yes, my friend, I can. Oh, I gotta make sure I eat before these things. I get so hungry, and then like, so don't give me any tickers that are food, guys, because that's what happened yesterday. And then I leave, and then I'm like, sorry about the rest of the tickers. I gotta go eat. All right, DLO. It looks like it's curving. Love the fact that volumes are peaking underneath of us. I think that I also have pulled this one up before, and I think that it's probably got a reason for it. D-Local Limited. This is software infrastructure. Let's go to estimates right away. They look good. It looks like a solid company. Looks like a good opportunity. Look at that operating leverage expansion. Shit, did I miss that last time? Maybe I saw it. This might be on my other list too. I don't have it in front of me. I love what I'm seeing here, bro. And I love that it actually hasn't launched that much. Seems like 48 is doable. This is number 3 on my let's figure out if we got some wicked options plays. So we're gonna have some fun this week, guys and girls. Let's see if we can figure out what's gonna make us money next, right? All right, DLO. Let's go down. People who hate on Jesse, we call them poor. That's a joke off of the song from Little Bubble, but it's right. It's right. Or at least in my humble opinion. That isn't that humble. All right, IONQ. I mean, I try to be. It just hasn't been working lately. So hopefully I fail at a few things soon. Make me more humble. Oh, okay. This is interesting. So this looks like, I think I might have said before, this looks a little scary. Looks like somebody dunked on us. And this is called a descending triangle. And so I think it wants to break down. The measured move could be significant. Like down to the 5s, maybe even lower. So this might be a good short play. Is that what you were talking about? You didn't say that. But if you wanted to short it, great. If you're long this, I feel bad for you, son. Because you're probably getting fucked real soon. Yeah, you probably are. So there's growth in revenue, and we love that. But we don't like it when our EPS is going down and we're burning money at $42 million a quarter for a stock that is $2 billion valuation, who can't seem to control their income, who has shitty cash flow and dilutes their stock. So if you like losing money, this is a good one, because I think you're going to have a good opportunity. I came in here with 17 minutes left. I was like, holy shit, a lot of intelligent people. Yes, they are. And Chris is like the best supporter. Tom Nash was talking about that the other day when we were doing a video together. He's also a friend of mine in real life. He's a good dude, even though I've never met him personally. But I love you, Chris. You're good shit, man. Fuck yeah, we do. Okay, that's me responding. I don't need to say my things. Haha, this remix is great. Okay, Summer Song, Hut finally showing signs of life today. Well, I think Hut sucks, intelligent computing. But I will say, no, I do think it sucks. But you're my friend, and you take care of me. So we'll pull it up. Pull it up. And then I'll tell you why I think it's trash. And then you can look through my feed and see a little more of that. So yeah, you got a wick. You could get some life here, right? But it's a fucking shit company, in my opinion. And here's why. And there's just better options. They do hold Bitcoin. Hut 8 holds Bitcoin. That's like the one thing they have going for them. The only thing. Because they replaced their CEO a couple months ago, or he quit or something. Maybe he saw the underlying accounting after their merger. We haven't seen any of their Q4 results yet. We know that their hash rate and stuff have started to increase. I can show you that here in a second. But look what was happening before the merger. Their production was gone. Their hash rate was not increasing. Their revenues collapsed. The outstanding shares changed because of the merger. They have a lot of debt. I'm not sure what that's about. I think some of that expired with the merger. I don't know. Again, we don't have Q4. And so we know they're mining a little bit more. We know they have a big Bitcoin stack. one of the larger ones in the industry. I don't know if they're third or fourth, but they're up there. But they didn't have growth before, and they haven't managed their company well. And I love Sue. Sue Ennis is great, but she doesn't run the company, the new version of it. Check the post with J Capital Research. Their guidance looks okay, but if they're still losing money in Q1, then fuck this company. You know what? Fuck them now. Don't own this shit. I said that months ago before it dropped like a fucking rock down here, back when it was like, I don't know if it was 10 or I don't know what it was, but it dropped a lot further. And I said to get the fuck out after reading the J Capital Research short report. Look at my post today. And if you read that, it's damning. Because basically the company they merged with, US something, whatever, they were insolvent before the merger. And that's why it happened. And then there were questionable relationships there. So this isn't me saying it. This is this thing. So read that stuff and then figure out whether or not you still like it. And sorry for shitting on your stock after you gave me so many handy bits of advice. Please forgive me. All right. Spotify, probably. I think I have Spotify. You know what? Let me use my little shortcut that you gave me. Person who owns stock or shit on. And, all right. So don't have it. Make a copy. I'm assuming this is Spotify. I just can't use Spotify anymore because it's like I get... For YouTube, for the people that bitch about not getting picture-in-picture, it's because of the ads. You don't get ads if you pay for premium. I get extra money, and people get extra money because you're supporting them and watching their content. And then at the same time, you get Google Music for free. Kind of seems cool to me. So, again, not to shit on your stock, because you want me to probably look this up because you like it. So, sorry about that. But, yeah. So, Spot, what do we got here? Did I... Oh yeah, hoping you could give Spot a look today. I hold no position. I worry it's overheated, but I do use their product every day and don't plan to stop. I feel like it's a stock like Celsius. So do me a favor. If you don't have YouTube Premium, try it and use Google Music. I think you'll find that you like it, and then you won't get ads on YouTube anymore if you don't already have Premium. If you already have Premium, like, why not just try Google Music? Because this is one less subscription you have to have. But I will look at your stock. 49 billion. I want to see the fundamentals because I haven't looked at this company in ages. Maybe they look really good and maybe there's a justification for owning it. Nice revenue growth. Cash position's getting larger. Don't hate that. How much cash we got? Billions. 4.7 billion minus debt 1.9. Still not bad. Operating expenses a little high. Cash flow is getting better. I don't like all the red quarters and I don't like the share dilution still. They are showing EPS positive and then revenue growth continuing. So maybe we can actually do this shit right. They're lowering their stock-based comp to a more reasonable number, much more reasonable, under 1% from 2.53, 2.8, 3.45. So they're not paying themselves as much anymore, which is nice. So I don't know, man. Maybe this is an okay company. I don't know what their growth aspects looks like, but here's what I would hate to have for competition, right? I would hate to have Google, a company that has 25 billion or something a quarter in net income, that for YouTube TV, like again, this is the same reason I hate Fubo TV. And I used their product. I tried it. I literally was talking about being invested in this, had calls, made some money, lost some money. But then I got the fuck out. And I got the fuck out because I used their product and I used YouTube TV, and YouTube TV did picture-in-picture on my phone. And then there were other things where it was like, is it that much better? I don't really think so. So, and then you're going up against Mega. And there's like 20 other products that are like it. So, kind of Spotify-ish too. I feel the same way. And I do think this is overheated. You went up a lot. You went up a lot for a company that doesn't make any money and that's worth a $50 billion valuation. I don't like it. I'm out. All right. I was thinking, sure, Kane. Just responding to people. Looks like I'm only getting to people. Thank you for everybody who signed up, by the way. PayPal getting close. Screen. Let's go. Let's go. Have you commented on NVIDIA lately? If not, please comment. Okay, I can do that one. That's fair. In a little bit here, I'm probably going to have to quit again, but I'm going to try and make it to 430. So NVIDIA. So I've said this about chips. I actually think they're starting to slow down. You have some divergences starting to form here. So let me do this. And I'll get to the daily, so it's the color's a little cleaner. So what I want to point out here, you can barely see it. Let me do it here. So you see how this is higher than this? I don't love that. And then these are like at the same height, right? This is called a bearish divergence. Now, on the weekly, what are we at? Oh, Jesus Christ, this thing's high. So it's at its highest level ever on the weekly, but again, there's some substantive reasons, but it's near 90. That is a big level. That is a big level. And this thing is $2.7 trillion now. So here's what I think. I think chips, not just this, but others, yes, they could go higher. Maybe we can get to 1,100. Possible. But I think the divergence is going to continue to grow. And I think the likelihood that this thing is going to be topping in the future will happen. And maybe it doesn't even happen at 1,100 and something. But here's the thing. Bitcoin and these other investments, asymmetric opportunities. Hood calls, asymmetric opportunities. ARKG calls, asymmetric opportunities. PayPal calls, asymmetric. Maybe BBAI, Grab, DLO, asymmetric opportunities. There's asymmetric opportunities everywhere. Do you really give a shit about 25%? Or do you give a shit about 97% when you can get 10x? When you can get like minimums of 300 and 400% with less downside risk? Because this thing has shot up like crazy. I mean, it's just stupid. It's great. I mean, it's great for the owners, man. And don't get me wrong. Again, maybe it goes up to 1,700. But you're going to reach a point where this thing's going to slow down. And it might be now. So I personally would be dialing out a little bit. Not financial advice. And I would be looking at other stuff. That's just me. HCI. It looks like I skipped some here. So let me go back up. I'll get that one. So yeah, that's my take, man. Take it or leave it. I could be totally wrong. I'm just some rando. Could be a fucking idiot. I mean, that's what my teachers told me when I was a kid. They thought I was retarded. They set me back in math, which is funny because I'm actually really good at math now, or at least statistical analysis and probabilities and all that stuff. But anyway, I digress. HCI. What is this? Got stuff. It's got a history. Wow. I would be much more interested in this if it was way down here. $27 to, you got a gap up here. It's up to 114 now. Why should I care about this? What is it going to do? Is it going to go up? See what they do. Is it a chip stock? Insurance, property, and casualty. Huh. Won't get a lot of those. All right. Estimates are going up for revenue. EPS. What are these guys' insurance for? Their expenses don't scale very good. Let me go back here. Operating leverage. It's not really scaling great. Oh, hey, I'm going to be checking out. This is my buddy's site, visualstocks.com. Visual, though, is with a Z instead of an S. It's great. It's brilliant. It's a no-brainer. You can even sign up for free. I am checking another site, though, too. Tom Nash's, so Stock MVP. He gave me access to that, so I'm going to be playing around with that. I'll probably let you know the differences. If there's things that are in that I can't find here, I'm going to let you know that. And I'll be honest about it. Tom's my buddy, but I will be honest. If there are things there, if I don't find any value in it, I probably won't be bringing it up. But if I do, I'm going to tell you what it is. That is my promise. That is my code. I will never, on this site, and I said I was never going to do ads, and then I brought ads back. But conservatively, I lowered the rank of them, so that's better. But I promise you this. I will never do affiliated programs with shit I don't use and that I don't find incredibly value and that I can't tell you why it's good. I'll never do that. I promise you. Scout's honor. I'll never do that to you. All right. Oh, I don't have this one anyway. Better make a copy. So if I give referrals, I'm giving them because they're quality. Or at least my perception of them is quality. Not that something else can't be better that I don't know something about, but I at least think it's top tier. That's how that works. I tell you to buy a Tesla because I think it's great. I tell you to sign up on a SoFi account because I think it's great. And I think it's probably going to be like the JP Morgan of the banking. I do think a lot of banking is going to go away, but for many years, if not a decade or more, we will have traditional banking still. I do believe that. I don't think Bitcoin replaces that overnight. So I recommend SoFi because I believe in it. I recommend Hood because I believe in it. I recommend PayPal because I recommend things that I actually fucking use. And I buy stocks for things that I know something about and that I utilize. So you'll see patterns there. HashiCorp. HashiCorp. That's a weird name. Is it like a marijuana tech company? Let me see here. HashiCorp. That's a weird name. Software infrastructure. San Fran. Cool. Not a lot of short interest. A little bit. 4.36. So there's no debt, though. That's good. Still diluting. 15% revenue growth year over year. I mean, it's growing, right? It's been around for a few years. Steady pace. Maybe slowing down a little bit. Not sure. Maybe it's slowing down maybe just a little bit. Still can't make a profit. Boy, that's so Silicon Valley, isn't it? Losing 31 million a quarter, $5 billion valuation, and not making money, and haven't for 5 years. That is very Silicon Valley. I don't know how well that shit works anymore. I do like, though, that they're starting to get to profit, but they're also a $5 billion company. I might be interested in this one if you can tell me what it does. I don't know if I'll see it in this post, though, so you might have to DM me or bring it up in the comments of the video. I see all the comments of the video afterwards. I do look through them, guys. So if I'm wrong about something, or if you're trying to provide extra information, hit me up after the video in the comments. So I'm gonna leave this one alone. But if you think this is great, if you've got justification for its being so high, if you could fill in some gaps here, it seems SPAC-y to me. It seems like it might have been created with a SPAC at the top when SPACs were still a thing. So I don't know that I love it yet, but again, you might be able to tell me why. Have you commented? Okay, now I'm caught up. Projections on the miner prices by the halving. I know you gave BTC a 92K. I think miners could go higher. Maybe they perform with Bitcoin. Maybe they do a little bit better. Maybe they do a little bit worse. It all depends on how long this narrative remains strong with MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is the leader right now. It's got the shorts of the shorts of the shorts. It is the pain train. It is GameStop. Drunk donkey. What better kind of donkey could you have? Projection on the miner prices by the halving. Oh, no, that was you. Okay. All right, whatever. Is MSTR going to be able to catch up in its holdings to its market cap? Do they need to? I mean, so I think some people said that last cycle it was 6x its underlying. That's a stupid number. Here's the thing. Cool. 6x its underlying. You could do that. There's a concept of economies of scale. It's also a much bigger market cap than last time. So its ability to be able to go that much higher is lower. And the market is savvier. And there's a lot more options to invest in, including Bitcoin miners and just ETFs and just a ton of shit, right? And altcoins. Tons of those. So maybe it could 3x its underlying. Maybe. It's not doing 6x again. I doubt it. Highly doubt it. But for periods of time, it could maybe go to 3. Would I prefer that it be closer? If I was really putting a substantial amount of money in this, I would prefer that it's closer to its underlying, maybe with like a 20% premium. I don't love that it's basically double when you subtract out debts. The debts are all a great deal, but I don't like that. All right, I didn't get through everybody here today, guys, and I'm starting to get tired and I'm hungry. So I think I am going to call it, and I'll probably try next time and see if I can figure out. Oh, thanks, Swaraj. Appreciate you, man. And thank you to all the extra people that signed up. The tips, bro, look at Hoodstock. I did actually at the beginning, so go back and look at that, Swaraj. And then I also did posts on X, so check those out too. Thank you guys for all the super stickers, man. I really appreciate you guys. Everybody that contributes, I appreciate it. My goal is for us to make a bunch of money together. Hopefully I can teach you everything. So it took me many years to realize this in my life. I was super competitive with everybody around me. My entire work career, as a supervisor, as a phone guy, as an account executive, as a project manager, as an operations man. Everything I did. Did I hear boobs? Is that what you said, Chris? I'm sorry. Anyway, back to the topic. That just threw me off with the hearts, especially. But everything I did, I was super competitive, and that's such a waste of energy, man. If I could tell you guys anything, don't compete with people. I see some of that in the social media space too, because I've been growing quickly. Don't be jealous of people. It's such a fucking waste of energy. See what you can learn from them. It's just a much better way to live life. And so, if there's anything I've learned in the last couple of years, it's I want, especially in this group, I want there to be a bunch of great people in here. I want them to share information. I want to give you everything I know so that you can be as good as me, maybe better than me, and then we can bring each other up. I wish to God I would have learned that lesson a long time ago. Would have had a lot better of a life. Not that my life has been bad, and lately it has been amazing. It's like I can't lose at anything, and I think partially is because I don't give a fuck anymore. And I don't I've let my ego at the door. If you can do some research, check out Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius, some of this other stuff. Like, listen to Stoics and their views on life. You can be religious and still listen to Stoics. I think they have beautiful views on just like things don't matter. Be kind, enjoy life, learn, never stop learning, and give more than you get. Anyway, I think that's the show. I got a crypto meetup tonight with some friends, so I'm going to have fun with that. I love you guys. I thank everybody that was here. I thank all of you for support. And let's grow together, man. Let's turn this into something fucking awesome. Let's enrich each other's lives. Let's live good lives. Let's not be slaves to the machine that was meant to take from us. Okay? Let's create a new one. A new one that doesn't steal and instead helps us grow so that we can be the fullest of whatever we can be. Talk to you guys later. It was fun.